Hello again, welcome back. Here we are to talk about SwiftUI again, and we're digging into SwiftUI. We've gotten pretty far with our calculator app. We got a lot of horizontal stacks in a V stack. We're using the button. We've got a function that's returning buttons. It's taken some parameters that we can set. And we can actually configure it more than what we've used here, right? Okay, so let's talk about the background here for a minute. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to set the background, and and I want to be able to control the color back there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually, my app here has a single V stack, right? And then inside the V stack there's a series of rows, right? So the main parent is the V stack, and then it has a bunch of child H stacks or horizontal rows. What I want to do is add one more parent that's going to be a Z stack. And a Z stack is like a vertical, like it stacks things up like front to back so they can overlap. One can be on top of the other. So the Z stack will let us set the background color and then put some things in front of it, okay? So to do that, I need to open my V stack up here and then close it all the way at the bottom, right? So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that helper. So I'm going to click on, hold the command key, and then click on this V stack right here, and I'm going to choose embed in Z stack. Okay, and you could have just typed the code there yourself, right? There's nothing wrong with that, right? You could have easily typed it, but this just was kind of a little helper that makes it kind of fast and easy, right? So I did that. And now inside the Z stack, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a color. And this wasn't obvious to me, but I'm going to set the color here and choose, let's choose black as the color there. Oh yeah, there we go. So now it's all black in the background. It's not obvious. I feel like we should have made, intuitively, I feel like I would have made a view here, or I would have set this view as a background color. But if we take the color object and we pick a color from it, it sets the color here apparently, right? Okay, so that does it. I have this space at the top here, and this is the safe area, so it avoids the notch, or it avoids the status bar, right? But maybe I want the background color to overlap that, and what you can do is you can say dot ignore safe area, right? So that you can still see the V stack here bumps up against the safe area, but the color ignores it, right? So I'm going to say this color ignores the safe area, right? Okay, so now I have a problem with my text, right? You can't see the black text on black background, right? So let's go to our text object here in this H stack, and let's set the foreground color. So let's set this to white. There we go. So that's looking pretty good. And what else are we going to do here? Oh yeah. So these buttons right here, they look pretty good spaced horizontally, but vertically they kind of bump into each other like this. There should be a gap here. The gap here looks nice, but there's no gap here, and that looks kind of not that great, right? So what we're going to do is inside the V stacks and the H stacks, we can give them some spacing, right? So let's give it a try. So I'm going to go to this V stack here and add the parentheses, and then add in spacing. I feel like it doesn't code hint me that, but I'm going to put spacing here. Let's do spacing of 20, right? Oh yeah, there we go, right? So I put spacing of 20 on the V stack, and then it put 20 spaces here between each of the H stacks, right? That seems like a little too much. Maybe I should do 10. That looks pretty good. I'm kind of scrutinizing here. I think it looks pretty good. Maybe it should be a little smaller. Let's do 8. And maybe like a little smaller, like 6. Yeah, I think that looks about right. Okay. So that looks pretty good. What else do we need here? Let's do, I think that looks pretty good. Let's hold on that for this video, and we can call that done for now, right? So we can set the spacing, and you can also You know, if you have problems spacing them horizontally, you can do the same thing with the H stack. So I can say space, you got to spell it correctly, right? Don't spell it like I spell it, right? So you can do spacing, let's do spacing of 20, right? And then you can see now my buttons are getting pushed off the edge of the screen, right? Because the spacing of 20 in between each one is too large, right? So we could do, if I want to make sure that this matched the spacing here, I could make the spacing 6, right? And now I know that the spacing here is the same as the other one, right? You know, and to get the other H rows to space correctly, then I need to configure them in the same way. So I'll take the spacing here and add it to each one of these guys. There we go. Build succeeded. Wait, I didn't mean to build there. I hit the keyboard by accident, right? But anyway, that looks pretty good. What else here? What else could we use? Let's do this. Maybe we need like a little bit of padding on. I don't know if we can do this. Let's do well. Let's hold on that. We'll come back, right? But I think that that's pretty good so far. So hopefully you've gotten as far as I have here, and try adding. I think the next thing we'll do is we'll try and add a parameter for the color, right? So try that on your own. Give that a try, right? So the idea is maybe we use the gray color as a default value here when we call our make button function. And then for buttons that are a different color, we can just add that color in, right? So thanks for watching, and we'll continue in the next video.